Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, I think our fun and our chances of Europe have probably dwindled a little too much now, but we've got a chance to get revenge on Burnley. We've got a pretty friendly running on paper, and after getting rejected for yet another pretty big job, I've got a feeling we're going to be here for the long haul. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 89 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today with Crystal Palace for two games that are winnable on paper. We face Burnley in 16th and Everton in 18th as they continue to scrap for their lives. Thankfully this season that's not a battle we're involved in, but we have got an opportunity to push towards Europe, and we've seen in this save for many years now that because England is the top rated league, they get an extra coefficient place at the end of the year. So if they get that, and of course depending on who wins other competitions, there might be an outside chance of Europe from 9th, but it doesn't look particularly good at the minute. But if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on in these two and finding out which job we've lost out on this time, then please do put a thumbs up on it. We have lost out on a job, not without an interview. We got shortlisted this time, but we lost out to a former England international legend, and I'm not particularly pleased about it because they were managing in a championship. So let's go and start with that because I'm going to have to go and find the man, aren't I? Let me show you who pipped us to the post at a big job in the Bundesliga. Here we go then. Wayne Rooney takes the reins at Stuttgart, who were in the bottom half of the Bundesliga but were expected to be top half, were half a star reputation bigger than Crystal Palace, and also had a few very decent players. If we go over and have a look at them, looking at some of the English youngsters at the start of the game, they've got James McAtee in the squad. They've got Rico Lewis from Manchester City as well. Jamie Bino Gittins is there. And Lauren Ulrich is a really good youngster as well. They're all about 28 now. It was a job that I kind of wanted looking at the squad, but not to be. And unfortunately, we miss out again. But at least that time, 4-star reputation club, we did get an interview. And that might be a really good sign for the future. There really hasn't been a lot cropping up during the season this year, which has made it quite tricky. So we might have to park that thought until the summer. Maybe another opportunity comes up. But for now, let's have a look at the schedule and see what's been going on. Because you were with me on deadline day. And of course for the United Cup tie as well. 5 games since then. 2 defeats. 1 of them really frustrating. 1 win and 2 draws. Not the best form, but it is our hardest run of the season. And now we've got a friendlier run in. So the first game was actually a really good one, a 2-2 draw at Chelsea with Spasov and Ribeiro bringing us back from 1-0 down. Unfortunately, we did concede a late equaliser in that one. Against Leeds in the FA Cup, big disappointment. We went 1-0 up, threw it away from the kickoff, and then Keane Lewis Potter put us to the sword. Guy Vaknin did get himself 2 goals, but it wasn't a good display. A 2-2 draw at Brighton followed with Vaknin and Lewis getting late goals there. That one we came from 2-0 down after throwing the kitchen sink at them. Against Southampton, a comfortable 3-0 win at home to a struggling side. Guy Vaknin with the first half penalty, and then late goals from Spasov and Ribeiro. But then later on, we played United at home, and there's only one difference to the cup tie. They played Benoit Badiashile from the start. He always scores against us, the defender, and he did the same to open it there. Ocon, our former youth player, got one as well. A 3-0 defeat. It was comfortable in the end. So we're not in great shape there. We're not in great shape from our youth intake, which has been pretty dismal, to be honest. We've got one good player through it, which is Nigel Lewis, who is a striker who can't finish. Probably would be trained as a midfielder if it's in my book, but not determined, unambitious. He's not got a great personality. And the other one that came through, and I don't know if you're noticing it more since the January update as well, lots of regens coming through at the most obscure of nations. So we've got a Bruneian international centre-half. This one's even funnier though. 5'3", jumping reach of 1. He is a central defender naturally. I think he might have to be retrained as a fullback. He can play on the right or left. He is not going to be a centre-half. Let's be absolutely clear about that. but a decent intake for the club. Not so much for us because we would need an immediate start with the time we're probably going to be here. But let's go and get through to two big games, starting at home to Burnley. If you remember, we came back about a third of the way through the season. We were doing really well and then Burnley put us to the sword. On that day, it was Andrew Moran who scored 2. Doesn't look like he's involved in this one. Let's go and have a look at what he's doing. Zach Williams is their captain at the back, our former player, of course. We know him very well from this save. They've still got Robert Sanchez in goal, getting on a bit. And where is Moran? Just not in the squad. I'm sure he'd be involved because he's one of the best players in the team. Let's go and get through to the selection. See who we can put out today. We're in decent form. We're not doing too badly. Let's see what 11 we can put out. Well, here we go. And there's probably one big bit of team news on this screen. If you have a look at left back, I've got a bit bored of Tyrick Mitchell playing poorly. Eric Nelson, the January signing, comes in. More natural on the right, but he's 2-footed, so what's the harm in putting him in there? We're struggling in midfield with Ward and Rothwell. Neither of them really physical enough to do what Castro was doing. We'll probably swap them round in the summer, but for now, this is the 11 we're going for. It's Montero in goal, Nelson and Rodriguez the fullbacks with Tapsoba and Rodolfo centre-half. Rodriguez will almost certainly be the next one out in the summer. Wanted by Real Madrid. Worth loads of money and improving all the time. No chance we keep him for next season. Hames and Spasov on the wings. Spasov, the wonder kid, also improving massively. But again, how long is he going to be here? We then got Rothwell and Ward in the middle. Vaknin and Ribeiro up front. And we're almost at full strength. So the likes of Campbell, Hurley and Lewis all available on the bench. Burnley at home. Revenge is in order. European places not out of the question. Let's try and get ourselves as high as possible. Getting into the first game at home. Fingers crossed it'll be a good one, as Zach Williams skippers against his former club. Haig set up the winner in the last game we played against them. No sign of Moran in the squad. Scott Twine, Ethan Ampadu, familiar names on the bench, as is Sarkic the keeper. So let's go and get through the dressing room. Tell the lads they can put on a show out here. They're inspired, they're motivated, but can they deliver a win? Through the tunnel interview we go at Selhurst Park. Let's get into the first game, find out if we can do it. We're back almost immediately with Inaki Montero. Big ball downfield, it was a hopeful one. Fofana deals with it well and it's back to Castina at the right back. He cuts inside to Lentjes. He plays it right to Fofana. Again, Burnley coming forward here in numbers. Haig gets down the right hand side. We've not started well. Maybe they're just a bogey side. It's a problem we're having here. Rothwell forces his man backwards, but Fofana keeps it. Burnley definitely playing a better football here. Definitely look more comfortable on it. And had a much better season up in the Premier League this time. The Ribeiro nicks the ball high for Hames. He goes forward to Ribeiro again. Chips over towards Vaknin, but Williams deals with it. He'll know how to deal with us very well. As Hames picks it up again. Through to Vaknin. Just take him on. You've got the legs. Plays a brilliant ball instead. Puts Ribeiro in. And Guy Vaknin, he's picked up where he left off. In the last episode, all we saw was him putting through brilliant long ball assists. And he's done exactly the same there. Not just the finisher. Not just the quality striker in front of goal. He is also a quality marksman. He loves to put the ball through, loves to create assists with brilliant passes. He is turning into an all-round player. As Montero has got the ball in goal again. Good claim from the corner. Out towards Spasov. The header's one for Nelson. He finds Spasov again. Chips over towards Vaknin. Beats Williams to it. Does his former teammate inside out. And we are definitely getting revenge on Burnley today. When we're playing at home to the bottom half sides, I've got to say it this year, for the most part we've been very good. We've managed to pick up a few results. 2 shots, 2 goals at the minute. The touchline tablet continues to do my head in. But for now, we're looking comfortable as Vaknin crosses. Beats the keeper. Castina clears it though. Guerreri comes forward. Looks to the right-hand side for Haig. He carries the ball towards the edge of the box. Into midfield for Fofana. Chips up to forward again. The right back's beaten Rodriguez, but it's headed wide. And if that's the best chance they can make, we're probably all right with that in truth. 20 minutes gone, 2 shots, 2 goals. It's all looking pretty good at the minute. Well, half time and this game has really calmed down. Burnley yet to have a shot on target. We're dominating the match. But Eric Nelson playing poorly at left back as well. And it seems to be a pattern this year. If you have an inverted winger in a midfield 4, it always seems to harm the fullback. I get they're being left alone a bit more, but we've got a deep lying playmaker. So maybe moving the ball winner over would help, I don't know. But for now, we're going to go straight into the second half. It's been a comfortable performance. It's been an easy enough game. We've just got to make sure we don't get complacent. As Spasov on the left carries the ball forward, staying wide this time. Plays it down the line for Ribeiro. Vaknin's in the middle, but he goes back instead. Spasov cuts in on his right foot. Got chance to shoot from here, and it's tipped wide by Sanchez. Really good goalkeeping. But the Bulgarian, he's settling in now. He's learning the language and the position nicely, and he's starting to look like a superstar. As this corners into the back post, headed away, off Rodolfo's head, and Guerrieri can bring it forward again. With 5 minutes gone in the second half, it looks much of the same. And Crystal Palace, you know what, with a good run in, maybe we can sneak back up there. As Rodriguez wins a header, only as far as Stratford. Burnley on the attack here. We do not want to give away an early second half goal. We're normally pretty good once we're in the lead, but not here. That is really poor play. The referee's hand goes up though. We're going to VAR. I'm going to be honest, I thought it was on. Checking the goal, VAR disallows it. We get away with one. My eyes deceive me, and it stays 2-0. But Burnley are on the front foot again. It's got to be a bit of a concern here. Williams is out to left back, and he's taking a throw-in. Cuts into the box unopposed here. Great ball across goal. Someone had to throw themselves at it for Burnley. We're not going to complain. We get away with it. As Williams heads away again to Rodolfo. Finds Tapsoba on the right-hand side. Back to Rodriguez. Good ball forward. Ribeiro loses out, but only to Nelson. Into Ribeiro again. And that will help Nelson's game. He's awarded the assist there. And it is 3-0 to Crystal Palace. A brilliant performance. A good win. And now we can make some subs. Let's go and get to the 20-minute mark. And we'll go and do it now. 5 players to be rested. Back in a minute when we've done it. Well then, we've made all 5 subs with both strikers getting a rest because they're going to be crucial in this run-in. Lewis and Mancon are on. We've also brought on Hurley, the new box-to-box midfielder, or the ball winner, sorry, who replaces Ward. We've brought on Mitchell at left-back to prevent Nelson getting sent off. As Lewis gets the header in for 4. Spasov crosses it. It's close for offside. The other change was Polido at centre-half. But let's see if this counts. It's got a chance, I think. Goal review. Will I be right or wrong? 1 out of 2 is not bad. The goal is awarded. It's 4-0. And all 3 strikers have scored today. Can't ask for more than that. I know Mancon is yet to get his first for the club, but kind of given up hope on that, to be honest. He's unhappy. He's struggling for confidence. He's still not learnt the language. And I'm not sure he's ever going to develop. But the 3 that matter have all got a goal. Oh, here is Mancon on the end of a long ball. Won't get a better chance than this. Now they've all scored. Joris Mancon gets his first for the club. It's only taken till April, but it's 5-0. All 4 strikers are scored. And Hurley, the other new signing, set it up as well. The perfect goal for us. The perfect round off to a brilliant day. It is Palace 5, Burnley 0. This is what we were expecting earlier in the year. As Warrington finds Fofana. Now can we keep the clean sheet? No, he's given a foul there. What has he given a penalty for? There was absolutely nothing in that from what I could see. We're going to VAR, so it will be given. The only question, I guess, with where he's gone down is it outside the box? No, it's not. It's a penalty kick. I have no idea where from. And as soon as I said the word clean sheet, Scott Twine gets a penalty, sends the keeper the wrong way. 5-1. Unfortunately, that bit's ruined. Still a good result, still a good performance. 3 minutes added on. A 5-1 win is very comprehensive. We're back in the mix for Europe, but just annoyed about that clean sheet. Back in a minute to face Everton. Away from home against the bottom 3 side. We've got to try and back this up. Here we go then. Everton away from home as Zalewski and Couto both pass fitness tests. Not that either would be a great loss at this point. United have won 3-0 at Leeds, so keeps another side well below us, because statistically, we are basically going to be in the top 12 now, and if other teams don't win their games in hand, we've got a chance of being higher. We're only 4 points off 6th, we're only 2 points off 7th. I guess the FA Cup winner will determine whether that matters. But overall, it has been a very good year, and if we can sneak into Europe somehow, it would probably change our stint at this club. If we have a look at what's going on elsewhere at the minute, not many jobs popping up. I know St Mirren have been better, but it's still not a step up. We have a look at the job security, even looking for those big jobs that are going to come around soon. There's not many about, unfortunately. So looking at the ones that are insecure, it's basically 3.5 star and below. We did go for the Netherlands job as well internationally, but didn't even get shortlisted for that. So let's go and get through the tactical meeting. Lots of changes being recommended. We're not going to do that. Let's go and pick this team. It will be very similar, if not the same. And I think it's going to be the same indeed. We're going to stick with the same 11, the same 20. But for now, it's the same team to go away to Everton. They're in the bottom 3. They're scrapping for their lives. And we want to try and put the misery on them. Well, it's not just any Everton side. It's one managed by Jamie Vardy. With Trevor Chalobah still in there. Moise Keane up front. Didn't expect him to be their longest serving player. I'm presuming he stayed there the whole save. They've got Samuel Edozie on the bench, who we know from our blog story with Southampton. That's up in the eye above if you haven't seen it before. But 3 changes for them overall. It's a good side, but it's one that we should be competing with. At the start of the season, we thought we might be scrapping with sides like Everton and Burnley come the end of the year. It's been a dream season. We're probably not going to have them too often at clubs like this, so let's just try and enjoy it while it's here. Into the pre-match at the new Everton Stadium. They're not enjoying it at the moment. Let's go and see if we can make it worse. Well, we're going straight from the kickoff, which is not normally a good sign here, as Chalobah finds Juarez, his centre-half partner. Through ball towards North, and now Silveira. They are playing 2 up front, which we might find harder to deal with, as here they come down the right again. Can we nick it high? It's going to be the battle of the back 4s here. Both teams playing 2 up front, both putting pressure on the back 4, and both got very high fullbacks as well. So this is going to be interesting. Big switch of play. North will chase it. Nelson can't get there. Silveira's in. Shot straight at Montero. Just 38 seconds on the clock. They should have been ahead. First chance to Everton. Well, we might have got the only good 30 seconds of the game. It's been awful since then. No highlights, no goals, no real chances. But here we are with the ball in midfield for Ward. Not having the best game, but again, growing into this role, getting used to the team. Finds Hames, who comes forward. Great effort from distance, just over the bar. He nearly caused the keeper some drama there. Not really many chances going about. And at half-time, it is 0-0. Neither side have really created anything clear-cut. And I'm going to tell the lads just that. You have got to do better in front of goal. Why is Spasov suddenly lacking belief? Let's go and say, I've got the faith in you to make the difference. Go and do it. He seems pleased. We'll give it 15, then we'll make some changes. Well, 10 minutes into the second half, it's a free kick for Everton in a very dangerous position. The classic FM goal position. This time, though, it's off the outside of the post. We're not really creating much, though, and I wouldn't say we've looked like scoring. So I'm looking at the bench. I'm looking at the likes of Chris Lewis and Jimmy Campbell. Are they people to come on now? As Ward goes right to Hames and Vaknin. Not seen much from him. First time he's probably touched it in a highlight. Back to Rodriguez. Carries it to the edge of the box. Chips in for Ribeiro. And there's the goal threat. We are so much more clinical this year and with exactly the same strikers. It's really hard to comprehend, but a good goal, a 1-0 lead away at Everton, and potentially back in the European mix. As it stands, we are up to 7th place, albeit with the sides below us not playing. So let's go and see what changes we can make, because Spasov on the left is knackered and nervous. On comes Jimmy Campbell. Started the season so well, had a few problems with injuries since. We're going to switch Ribeiro and Vaknin. We'll take him off for Chris Lewis. I'm looking in defence. Nelson again not having the best game on a yellow card, so Tyrick Mitchell on. And then maybe at centre-half, Tapsoba for Pulido. And Hames on the right's not done that well either. Neither has Gordon Ward. So we'll save the last sub in case of injury. And then what we'll do after that is maybe just bring on someone like a Hurley again. With 15 to go, we're 1-0 up. We're doing all right. As Smith gives it away to Mitchell. The substitute can bring it forward. Carries it across the pitch. Hames in support. Goes alone though. Cuts in from the right. Chris Lewis has the shot on goal. It's a good save from KO though. 10 minutes to go here. We're 1-0 up. We're doing our bit. And you know what? We'll make that final change now. Ward is going to be the man to come off. Hurley will come on in centre midfield. It is just to complete the job here. 7 minutes to go. We're going to drop to balance. Just make sure we see it out. And we might time waste at the end as well, because it is quite important now that we try and make it. We've had 5 changes, but we're being recommended to make another, which is odd, as Ribeiro goes long towards Lewis. João gets there, makes the mistake though. Lewis pounces on it, dinks the keeper, but also just over the bar. Bit too much on it. 4 minutes of stoppage time. And you know what? We're time wasting. We're going to nick a 1-0. And this has turned into a very good episode. A big win at home. A classic gritty 1-0 on the road. And you know what? A really good effort from these lads. They're still in the European mix. And they continue to perform above expectation. Well, there we go. Up to 7th place. Guy Vaknin still top scorer. Ben Hames still top assist maker. And we've got a chance at Europe. I'm looking towards the end of the year. We've got Arsenal. We've got City. We've got Newcastle, which will be big. We've also got a couple of games against teams below us. Leeds being one of them. Watford, I think we play as well. So we are going to come back for those final 2. Hopefully, we've got a chance to play for Europe at the end. I've no idea what the permutations are going to be. The new format seems to give England an extra place most years. And more importantly, will we have done enough to attract a big job offer this summer? I feel like we can't do any more with this side. We're only going to go one way next year, and that's probably backwards. I guess the only benefit if maybe we get into your Europa Conference League is we'll probably be one of the best sides in it. So maybe then we could win a trophy that way and open our horizons to the rest of Europe. But for now, it's a patient waiting game. It's trying to achieve a miracle with Crystal Palace. But let's be honest, we didn't expect to be anywhere near here at the start of the season. After a disastrous summer, has been a brilliant season with lots of lads proving us wrong. So 6 games to go, we'll try and do the unthinkable. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see if we can keep on going, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you thought of the performances in the comments. Subscribe down below for daily FM23 content from 2 long-term stories. If you missed yesterday's episode from our Builder Nation, the season climax, well, where the hell were you? You can find it up in the eye above to catch up before our 10-year bookmark in that one tomorrow, where we can compare the footballing world to what we saw in this one last summer. In the eye above, there's links to all the other platforms such as Twitch, the football podcast and the blog story. But thank you very much for watching as always. Your support is greatly appreciated. There's still a chance at Europe yet with Palace. The remarkable season continues. We'll be back next time to see the very end of it.